How often do you think about your future self? Is this future self a stranger to you? Researchers out of UCLA just dropped some research around our future selves and the way that we conceptualize them in achieving our goals and doing the things that we want to do in our life. Today, I'm breaking down this research and helping you understand how you can apply it to your life. Don't miss out. Welcome back to Decision Lab. Today, you just got me. Here in the Decision Lab, we help you cut through the BS and keep you up to date on everything health, wellness, and emerging technology. I've got a wild one for you today because we're talking about you. And more specifically, UCLA research that just recently came out about future you. Let's break this down. This is wild, okay? So buckle up because what I'm about to share might literally change how you make choices today, and it's all backed by science. As you know, I'm the brain scientist of Chloe and I, okay? So this one's all about our identity, our psychology, and how we achieve and think about ourselves in the future. So you know how we all kind of know that we should eat better, work out, or save money for the future, but somehow Friday hits and we're like, future me will figure it out. I don't know about you, but I know I do that. Sometimes I'm like, I'll just watch one more episode, or I'll eat better tomorrow. Like I do this myself too. Like I'm gonna be honest. Research out of UCLA just dropped a psychological mic though, and it helps us understand why this happens. It's not rocket science, it's brain science, as I like to say. So these researchers out of UCLA, they ran two badass studies that basically asked the question, what if the reason we're so bad at long-term decisions is because we treat our future selves like strangers? And guess what? They found that the more connected you feel to your future self, the more likely you are to take care of your health right now. Like you actually exercise more and report better overall health just from feeling like future you is you and not a stranger. So they did two studies here. So in the first study, people said that they felt a strong sense of continuity with their future selves, meaning they see their future them as similar, connected, and someone they care about. Those people who had that concept, that self-concept about their future self, had better self-reported health scores across the board, mentally, emotionally, physically, all areas. That's wild, okay? Here's where it gets even more wild, because in study two, they did all the researchers had to do was a 2-minute exercise, a 2-minute writing exercise. They wrote a letter to their future selves 20 years from now. And that alone boosted how much people exercise over the next 10 days. People who wrote to their far future selves worked out more often and for longer durations than those who just wrote to themselves 3 months in the future. Like, how freaking crazy is that? Like, I cannot believe this. When I saw this, I was like, no way this is real. Okay, so literally a 2-minute piece of paper, a letter, can change your behavior. But why? Because it shifts your brain out of present bias and into a mindset where today's decisions matter to someone you actually care about, future you. Why is that though? It's because your brain actually views your future self as a totally different person. So every time you break a promise to yourself or say you'll do it tomorrow, you're actually hurting someone who your brain views as a different person. Wild, right? That blows my mind. This is why willpower and motivation don't work. Your brain doesn't care about strangers, so it eats the cake, skips the workout, and watches one more episode. So what did the UCLA group do to get such better results outside of just writing this letter? Listen close to this. They befriend their future self. That's what they did. They befriended this person, that continuity that I described. They made them a buddy. They're not a stranger anymore. So if you only ever view your future self as that stranger, you'll always prioritize the present pleasure over future success. But if you befriend your future self, this flips instantly mentally. Now you're not sacrificing, you're investing. You're not restricting, you're protecting. You're not procrastinating, you're preparing. All right, so I want you to take out your phone, go to your calendar and scroll to 1 year from today. The person that will be living your life on that day is counting on you. They're hoping you make the right choice. The first step that I would suggest is to befriend your future self with a name, okay? Like, it's not always easy to do this, but just befriend yourself. So maybe it's something like Zen Cody or Millionaire Mandy or Fit Frank. You get the point. Make it funny, make it have something to do with what you are trying to accomplish in the future, and name them that, right? So you can create that mental picture in your brain. Then, before any decision that you make, what I want you to do is ask yourself, would I do this to my best friend? Would I do it to Fit Frank? Would I do it to Zen Cody? What would they think about this? Ask your future self that. Ask yourself that about your future self, okay? So think about this when you skip a workout today, you're actually stealing strength from Fit Frank in the future. When you watch one more episode, instead of working on your dreams, you're stealing time, energy, and capacity from Millionaire Mandy. That's your best friend. Ouch. Every decision you make today affects this person. So what are you going to do? First thing I'd like you to do is drop the name of your future self in the comments below. I would love to hear these. I cannot wait. I'll put mine in there as well. And the next time that you're deciding or trying to debate between Netflix or a walk or donuts versus veggies, just try this. Think about your bestie in the future. Make that person feel real, because science says it freaking works. Okay? Here's some other questions that you might ponder in relation to this. Okay? Take out a journal. Take a couple minutes here and just ponder this. How often do you think about your future self as you, not just a concept? Do you picture them clearly? What do they look like, sound like, feel like, live like? If you met a 70-year-old version of yourself today, what would they thank you for? What would they wish you started sooner? Are your daily choices that you're making right now helping or hurting the future version of yourself? And real talk, what's the habit future you might resent you for? I know one thing your future self will resent you for, and that would be not subscribing to the Decision Lab on YouTube, because we have some fire shows coming up that you won't want to miss. Stanford neuroscientists talking about if supplements are legit or not. The third fittest man on earth talking about exercise gurus and what's legit and what's not, and how to kind of think about exercise and fitness in your everyday life and what it really means to be fit. The founder of an algae supplement company. Is algae really the most nutrient dense food on earth, or is it total BS? Let's find out. All this is coming soon. We got a season 2 coming soon. Chloe and I are going to be doing more expert interviews, more conversations like this, where we're just hopping on, sharing some insights, sharing a piece of research like what we did today from UCLA. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. And I really, really hope that this topic helps you. I know it's something I work on with my clients. As some of you may know, I actually work with people daily, all the time, clients on high functioning anxiety, trauma healing and trauma recovery, abusive relationships, anxious achieving, like being ambitious but anxious. And generally, it's a combination of all those things in one person. And so this future self conversation is something that's really, really interesting. Like I think about it in relation to anxious people who are anxious achievers, right? Will your future self really be proud of you and happy that you neglected all personal and professional relationships to achieve your goal? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. That's a decision you got to ask. If it would be, and you want to change the world and you want to be like Elon Musk, maybe. Okay, he still sleeps though. Will your future self be happy that you sacrifice your nutrition, your sleep, your exercise, your social connection, your play, your mental and emotional health to achieve your goal, right? These are anxious achievers' thoughts in relation to their future selves. Maybe, maybe not. These are things. Abusive relationships. I work a lot with people who are getting out of abusive relationships, whether it's narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, mental, like physical abuse, even sometimes domestic violence. And the question that they get stuck in a lot is this trauma bond, where one half of them is like, I want to stay, and another half of them is, I need to leave. There's two different parts of them at play there, and they're trying to figure out, what should I do? It's a really hard question, and it's neurochemically a neurochemical addiction that people don't really understand outside of the space. But when you look at the neuroscience, it's very clear. So could this future self research, is that something that we could talk about with them? Would that help them in some way? Helping them name their future self? Would their future self be happy or proud that they're in this relationship? I don't know. I don't know. These are good questions. These are good questions. And something I think about a lot all the time when we're recording these episodes and things is our audience, you guys. Will your future self, your guys' future selves, be proud and happy that you subscribe to our podcast and listen to our show and take our recommendations and use the products that we suggest or that we validated and verified? If not, what am I doing this for? Like, should I be doing this? And so it's just a really interesting conversation to think about. And neurologically, we're one of the only species on Earth that can do this. Not many other species, very few, maybe dolphins, maybe octopus can do this kind of thing, project into the future, use our prefrontal cortex to do this mental time travel. So it's made us a dominant species on Earth. But how often do we use it in this kind of way, in such a proactive and healthy, good way? I feel like a lot of the times we're actually doing it more to ruminate and make ourselves anxious at 2 a.m. and make us not be able to sleep. That's like a negative, if you will, way that we use this mental time travel. But this, what we talked about today in this research out of UCLA, is so interesting because it's helping us understand there is a way you can make it a superpower and a way you can put it to your advantage. Just food for thought and something to think about. If there are other topics you guys want us to dig into, or products or services or companies or founders, experts that you want us to talk to, let us know in the comments or hit us up on Instagram. Or just say hi. We love hearing from you guys. DM us on Instagram, comment on YouTube. We love to talk with you. We love to learn more about the questions you guys have, the comments that you guys have. If there's a company you want us to interview and try and get on the pod and you know them, make an introduction. Drop in the comments. Cody@decisionlab.info is my email or whatever, and send those people to me. I would love to hear from you. That's all we got for today, though. I really, really hope that this concept, this future self concept, is something you found as interesting as I did. First solo one that I'm doing by myself. Chloe's going to do some. We do most of these together, but I really hope this is something. This is the type of stuff I love to learn about, to talk about, to research. So these are the types of topics that I will generally probably be sharing. And then emerging technology. I love talking about the future of technology, AI, machine learning, neurotech, nanotech, biotech, all of those types of futuristic things. That's generally going to be the topics and the concepts that I talk about because I'm very passionate about those types of things. I run a company called Mind Brain Body Lab where I integrate all of these things into the work that I do with clients and patients. That's what you get when I hop on here. Hope you love this. Hope you found this helpful, and I hope you apply it. How can you apply it? Name your future self and start to just ask yourself, what would my future self think about this? What would my best friend think about this? Which is your future self. Okay, so just ask that. Okay, stay curious, stay healthy. Catch you next time. Peace.